Welcome to our live streaming event. We've got a very special guest in the house, right from here in beautiful Northport, Florida. You're listening to Real Talk, normally a live streaming of different types of content, but today, I guess a returning guest multiple times. I'll let her introduce herself and why we're doing the show today.
Thanks, John. My name is Pat Beffel, Jr. I am the treasurer and the event director of the Youth Musical Arts Academy of Northport. We are going to be having a summer band camp this summer for incoming 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And in order to do that, we need to raise money. So one of our fundraisers that is going to start a week from today, Thanksgiving morning, 8 o'clock, we're going to have an online auction to benefit the Youth Musical Arts Academy of Northport. And that's what I'm here to talk about. Auction.
Yeah, auction. But talk about the group a little bit so that some of our first-time listeners may be able to catch up.
Okay. The Youth Musical Arts Academy is a group of volunteers who were volunteering with the Northport Symphony. And we wanted to specifically concentrate on youth musical education in the Northport and Northport area. So we formed our own 501c3. It's called the Youth Musical Arts Academy of Northport. And we've been in business for a couple of years now. We have had a youth choir. We have a lot of instrument petting zoos. That's an outreach program where our volunteers will be at different events in the community. And we have a group of instruments that the city of Northport Parks and Rec actually donated to us. So that children who come up to us can see if they can make noise come out of a clarinet or a flute or a trombone or a trumpet. We were at the Newcomers Day up at City Center at the beginning of November, and there was one little boy who got the trumpet going, and he was just standing there and jamming, just rocking back and forth and having a grand old time.
Well, it's not here, but my granddaughter, Allie, she is learning the violin up in Muncie, Indiana. And I can't tell you how special it is for her to learn how to play. So I get to listen to her and watch her on Facebook and listen to her in the background a lot of times when I'm on the phone with them. But the music is an important connection for a lot of the youth, isn't it?
It is. It is. It does wonderful things for their self-confidence. It's not something that depends on physical prowess. It's something that takes patience. It teaches them patience. If they're in a band together, they learn teamwork. There's a sense of community because you're all working towards a common goal. And it helps with a lot of cognitive development as well. Music is a very, very good thing. And unfortunately, there's not enough of it. And it's our goal to step in and fill that gap.
You know, there's something to be said about the music and how things affect people. I remember when I was young, I ended up playing trombone in middle school and picked that up. And I spearheaded off of that right into track and cross country. I don't know how that correlates, but I was never the sit down and concentrate. Now that I'm older, I actually tinker around with the guitar, and music is something that I connect with a lot of times out in our communities, because we have a lot of live music here in Southwest Florida, don't we?
We do. We do.
So when you connect the youth with the music and the instruments, it's a game changer a lot of times for a lot of them.
It is. We're going to have an event in January, which I'm not really ready to get into that yet. But one of the things at that is we're going to have testimonials from students that did take up music. And there are those that music literally changed their lives. It gave them a purpose. It kept them from going down a dark path that without some sort of purpose in life, they may have gone down that path. So it is a game changer because it can take a kid that's troubled or sad or doesn't belong, and it can give them all the things that they need. Aside from the fact that music itself is just pleasurable, there are a lot more aspects to it than that.
Well, and it's that connection too. A lot of times you've got, the music teacher, then you've got a lot of, I said this today earlier, like-minded people, they kind of flock together, and musicians do the same thing. I've got my son is theater major up, and he is the technical theater director of Ball State. And a lot of people know John. And Michael was a wrestler in high school, and now he's playing guitar and writing music. And he didn't play any instruments; he's self-taught, and so there's a lot of therapy that goes into music and the arts, and that connection. A lot of times is like me with track. It helped me get through school. I still talk about my track coach, Phil Kegg, and I've spoken with him currently. He and Mr. Rader, they talk to me all the time, and that connection, it lasts a lifetime when you connect music and the teachers, the just that influence of your life. It matters.
Yes, it does.
And so you've got somebody who leads the room, who leads the organization, who has been connected with a lot of music here, with Michael, right?
Yeah, Michael Allegria has taught elementary music.
Yep.
He has been the executive director for the Northport Symphony.
Yep.
He has instructed our chorale, our chorus, youth chorus. He was very involved in the high school music program up at Northport High School.
Yep.
And he actually, because his wife, Lorianne Allegria, is involved in the music there. When you're married to someone, you kind of get the job by default anyhow. Even though he's no longer employed by the public school system, he's still working with the kids there.
I don't think you'll ever take him out of that. I think
I don't think so.
He's locked in, and that connection, and even when he talks about, when you talk about it, the same thing. There's some passion that goes along with that, and doing this for the kids and connecting them to music. What would you tell people as they're watching? One, I want them to spread the word, and try to help you out with this auction. But why is it so important to get this going?
Music can have a very profound impact on developmental skills. And the children in this area, in Sarasota County, they only have about 40 hours of music education a year, if that much, very little. And it's not enough.
Right.
I mean, when I was growing up, we had more than that in school. I'm sure you did too, John.
Yep.
And it develops a whole different area of the brain. To me, it was a lot of fun. And there's nothing wrong with kids having fun, for crying out loud.
Right.
It's not as serious as some other things, although you can be very serious about music. And there's just not enough of it. And it's not early enough. And that's one of the reasons we want to have a summer band camp, because that gives 4th, 5th, and 6th incoming into those age group, those grades. That's the word I was looking for. Then those students can decide whether music is something that they might actually want to pursue. And without an introduction, they don't necessarily know. And there just is not enough music in the community for the children. So that's the gap we're trying to fill.
And you talked about the flow of connection with Parks and Rec. I know like when they have events on the green, City Hall at the Green, and there's music there. There's youth musicians there. We've got a music school here in town, which we didn't have that before. And with you guys pushing, I think inspiring people to pick up instruments, that's a whole different challenge because there's a lot of fear that comes into picking up an instrument and not knowing what to do with it. Um, and really that first initial contact can be the biggest growth, right?
It really can be. And it was interesting that you mentioned fear, because when you have the smaller children, the younger children, they haven't developed the fear due to peer pressure that happens when you get into the later years, like junior high school.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to get to the kids at a young age, because that way they don't have that fear yet. They can try it, they can see if something works, and they can enjoy it, and it'll bring a smile to their face. And if it's for them, they're hooked. It's not for everybody, but football, basketball, that's not for everybody either. There should be something for everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that growth together, that matters big time.
It does, very much. And there are students, when we've had testimonials from students in their later years, they'll talk about things such as, that was my family. Because if they're in band together, they all feel like, they travel together, they spend time together. It's not just a class, it's coordinating things together, and they work together. And it literally gives them a sense of community that's within the school, within their peers, and it gives them something that they have for years and years to come.
Well, you've got a lot of things scrolling on the screen with connections here, the affiliates and the partners. Um, what's the importance behind that? And if anyone else wants to get involved, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, if they were to go to our website for the Youth Musical Arts Academy of Northport, and it's YMAANP.org, then there are ways to contact us. And certainly if anybody wanted to give me a call, I'm more than happy to talk to them. They can just call me on my cell phone. Is it okay if I give my cell phone out on the air?
Go free. Go free.
517-262-8313.
Talk about the get a monthly update. What's that all about? Are they going to get bombarded with stuff, or is it really a controlled thing just for
it's very controlled. The only reason for that is to let people who want to know what's happening, to let them know. And that's something that people have the option of signing up for.
Fantastic. Every organization tries to keep the contact going. It's one of the hardest things that anybody can do right now is trying to find different ways of reaching out. And the things that you guys are doing with the auction, with the newsletter, with trying to get the youth involved, and all the affiliates, that they're really important to help get that information out to the community. What's some special things that you've run across over the last year or so, that some special moments that kind of stand out to you?
One that was special to me was just before Valentine's Day last year. One of our big supporters, the gallery at Northport, and they have supported us in a number of different ways. Since we had a youth choir, we thought it would be nice to have a performance and then have the children do Valentine's Day cards with the grandparents who don't see their grandparents very often, their grandchildren very often, because they're in a senior living situation. So the youth choir performed in their common room. And then after that, tables were rearranged and children and residents made Valentine's Day cards together,
Wow.
which I thought was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, it's that participation. We're looking at the silent auction now. Explain how this works.
Okay. Well, you have to start, and probably if I go back, because it helps, search, filter, price, donate. There is a way to register on this. I have to.
That's
Okay.
right. Kind of
If
walking
you,
through it.
if you have a full-size screen, then up in the right-hand corner, there would be a button that says sign in. And you would click that button. And it wants your phone number. And it also gives you the option of signing in via email. And some people like to use their phone for everything.
Yep.
I'm more of a computer-based person, but it knows my phone number already. You can sign in via email. If you haven't signed in before, it will prompt you to create an account. And you can do that either with your email or with your phone. The fact that I already created an account, it doesn't look like it's going to let me create a new account, so I'll have to do this one from memory. So what will happen is you go ahead and you set up an account. Because the idea of setting up an account is to make it so you can bid on the silent auction items, it's going to want your address. It's going to want your credit card. The reason for the credit card is if you win the bid, then it's automatically charged and you've paid for it and you're all done. And then we'll see about getting the items to you. Does that answer the question, how you were thinking of it, John?
Yeah, and then walk them through if they want to bid on something. How do they do that? Is it just like point and click on the number and then enter your number next?
That's my understanding. It doesn't go live until Thanksgiving morning at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I have done with this sort of site before. And really, if what you do is you click on the item, let's see.
I did. I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Which one did you click on?
I clicked on the foggy morning at Walton Ranch.
Okay. So what you have is you have foggy morning at Walton Ranch. Let me get down there.
I see where it says make a bid.
Foggy morning. There it is. Make a bid. That's exactly how you do it. You can't make a bid today because the auction doesn't open for 6 days yet. But what you can do right now is you can look at everything that's offered and start thinking about what might be interesting to you. I mean, we have tickets. We have a vacation to Mexico. We have lots of gift certificates. We have artwork. Let's see, we have sailing lessons, hair care products, coastal items, all sorts of different types of things at different price points. So it should make it so people would be pretty much able to get something for anybody.
Just walking through and looking, you've got some pretty cool stuff that I saw DeWalt in there. You've got some tickets. You got Christmas puppies with the gallery wrap. That's kind of a cool thing for Christmas. You've got hair products.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you got a little bit of everything, don't you?
That's what we tried for, and we have had a lot of support from the community for this. A lot of support.
Fantastic. All you need is love. January 11th and 12th.
Yeah, I spent some time talking to them about that item.
Yeah.
And it was really pretty amazing because the person who selected the group for that concert, I hope I get her first name right, Louise Harrison, who is the sister of George Harrison. She used to live in Sarasota. She's the one who picked out the group for that particular performance. And the group that is going to be there has won multiple awards, not only here in the US, but across the world. They're extremely well known. And that's one that is really tempting to me because they sound like they're going to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I would think so. Especially if you're highlighted like they are, a lot of these groups have to go through the whole gamut to kind of carry that torch of music.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just don't take these shows and put them on with people who are not qualified.
No, you don't. And it's not just tickets to the Sarasota Pops, which is All You Need Is Love, but there's another one that's up at Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater. Straight No Chaser is the name of the group, and that's near the very bottom.
Yeah.
When you go to the bottom of all the silent auction items, and there's 2 different pairs of tickets. And if you were to click on that, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not sure you want to listen to it, or I could, but they're very funny with their Christmas songs. They do everything a cappella. So there's absolutely no instruments at all, but the range of their voices creates such a full and rich sound. And they're also pretty funny.
That's good.
So something that when I was putting items into populating the website, I looked up a couple of YouTube videos so that somebody can click on those and actually hear what they sound like, which I thought was kind of fun.
Is that the Straight No Chasers?
Yeah, that's the Straight No Chaser. Do you want to hear some of it?
Sure, put it on. Yeah.
Let's see. If we do that, so I clicked on their picture. I go down to the description. Here's a YouTube. Let's see.
Oh, I got it. I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay, let me stop that then. Okay, I stopped it.
Christmas time is here, and Christmas songs you love to hear. Thoughts of joy and hope and cheer, but mostly shopping, shopping, shopping. Christmas time is here. The sleigh bells and the red-nosed deer. Songs and songs we love to hear, all played 1,000 times each year. Heard this same song 20 times, and it's only Halloween. It's not even cold outside. Christmas time is here, and Christmas songs you love to hear. Thoughts of joy and hope and cheer, but mostly shopping, shopping, shopping. Christmas season starting sooner every year. It's October, stores with plastic Christmas trees. Ransack the mall, shop until you lose your mind. Spike the eggnog, sit back and watch Rudolph, Frosty, and steal the Grinch or Charlie Brown. It's time. It's time to do the Christmas can. If you can't dance, well that's okay.
Not going to do the kick line.
All you need is a tree, some lights, about 1,000 presents, wrap them up and pray for snow. Run into your closet, find your Christmas sweater, scream.
That's pretty entertaining.
They're funny.
Yeah, they are.
Aren't they funny?
Ironically, I was driving down the road today and I heard Christmas music already. And so I'm putting this together with what they're singing now. I couldn't agree with them more.
Well, that's true. But, I mean, there are just some wonderful offerings. And now that we've done that, it makes me think that maybe on some of these others, I'm going to see if I can find some links so people can listen to some other stuff.
Absolutely. That's really good that you guys have gone the extra mile, really, on getting that stuff out there and trying to give them a sample. This couldn't have been an easy task.
It takes time, but when you don't have a regular daytime job, that's another way of saying I'm retired. It gives you a little more time to put back into the community. I'm fortunate that I have the ability to do it.
So talk a little bit about the volunteers. If somebody really, because if you love music, um, a lot of times you don't know how to get a hold of you, or you know, just initiate the contact, because you're always looking for volunteers, aren't you?
Absolutely. And right now, there are actually volunteers in the other end of the house right now because we're working on packing things for the auction, because we're going to have the option of people getting things shipped to them. So there are volunteers at the house right now with their box knives and the tape and the boxes and cardboard and packing things up. So it's not just participating in something that's music, because there are lots of different ways for people to participate as a volunteer. You can be somebody who likes doing things on the computer. You can like setting things up.
Yep.
You can like going out and asking for auction items. If you're one of the special people who likes to go out and ask people for money, please let me know. We're always looking for people like that. But on something like that, people can just say no. It's not personal to you. So, but your question really was, how would people get hold of us? If they go to our website, then there are ways to, if you go to the homepage, see about, donate, and somewhere on here, about us, learn more, our team, I'm looking for contact button. It's in here someplace. But if you scroll around on the website, you will find it.
Well, I'm kind of teasing Google here a little bit. And the funny thing is, if you put in Northport Youth Music, it comes right up. It's the first one. So Northport Youth Music is a quick and easy way to put in to Google your search to find the auction site, and it showed up as the first one, which is fantastic, and also gives your Facebook page. And you guys are actually a member of the Chamber of Commerce too. So
yes, we are.
People can get a hold of you through the Chamber of Commerce. There's all kinds of different things that that connection to the community. The city manager's connection with the community of unity type of thing. That's what you guys promote. You're really connecting the people to the music, and that unity comes together. And I look at things like pods. You've got youth sports, you've got soccer fields, you've got baseball fields. Those pods are full all the time. So is music. And you guys are trying to build that pod bigger. And 104 square miles of Northport. And you don't have to just be in Northport. You can come and be part of it, right?
Yes, you can. And it's not limited to public school. We have had participation with homeschool children, and we've had participation from students in private schools too.
How does that work out with homeschool? Are they required to get some music time in too?
I don't know the answer to that question.
That'd be an interesting one to connect on an educational level, because that might be a really good way for you guys to connect to the homeschooled kids in the community. I know, like with the athletics and things like that, they can come in and actually participate inside the school with athletics. So being homeschooled, there's a lot of different options, but connections a lot of times are the hardest parts to figure out.
And that's one of the things that I love about Michael Allegria, because he is very well connected with the educational community in Northport, having been such a part of it for such a long time. And his wife is still actively in the public school music education arena. So we do have those connections. I've only been in Northport for 5 years, so I don't have nearly the number of connections that he does yet.
I like that. That was a little confidence there, huh?
Well, I was always very involved during my working life in the community where I lived up north. And that's one of the reasons I'm involved in the community here, because I like helping the community in which I live, and communities can always be better. It just takes more people with more time and more energy who want to help out.
That's true. That's true. Looking at some of these things, you've got Sherwin-Williams, you've got Primary Trust, you've got Sarasota Opera. You've got take a ride in the front seat of a Northport Police Department patrol car.
Front seat, not the back seat this time.
Front seat. Wow, I'm so used to the back seat of. No, I'm teasing. Yeah, somebody had to say it, and I might as well fall on the sword. And for the cigar smokers out there, you actually have some good cigars on there. MTR Ace Hardware. That's down on 776 Eljo Bean.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a drone. So take to the skies HD Vision drone. You've got the Pelican briefly. What is that? Is that a picture?
That's a watercolor.
Yeah.
That is a very well done watercolor by a local artist. Benita Lane actually is connected to our group because she's the sister of one of our volunteers.
Fantastic.
And she wanted to help out the auction. So she gave us one of her original watercolors. And that's a good coastal Florida theme. And we expect that should go for a decent amount.
Yeah, and that's nice.
And
this is really, every bit of this is going towards what exactly?
It's going toward being able to have a summer music band camp for elementary kids. Because there are a lot of expenses associated with it.
Big time.
Big time. And you can't ask people, professionals, well, you can ask people to volunteer. But on the other hand, if you're a professional musician and you've been paid for teaching, if somebody wanted to offer their time at no charge, that's one thing. But we're fully prepared to pay instructors because that's what you do. If you have somebody who's teaching, you pay them in most cases.
In most cases, I agree. I have a feeling that you and I are excluded from that.
Yeah, I haven't been paid one.
I've been doing this 9 years, and I promise it's just like my Ohio State Buckeye group. We give money, we don't make money. So I love the fact that we're connected like this because it's truly connecting to the citizens and the youth with our open hands and open arms, and just welcoming, because there is no other agenda with it. It's really just pure.
It's for the benefit of the children.
Yep.
And that's what I'm in there for.
How long you been doing this?
The Youth Musical Arts Academy, we only became a 501c3 2.5 years ago.
Yep.
And it was about a year prior to that I was volunteering with the Northport Symphony to raise money for youth music. And when you raise money and there's more than just youth music, it doesn't all go to youth music. And that's why we started the Youth Music Arts Academy, so that everything that we raised could be concentrated to that sector of music education. So I guess I've been doing this particular volunteer job for about 3.5 years. I've only been a resident here for just under 5 years. It took
Okay.
me a while to find a couple of organizations for which I wanted to volunteer, and this is one of them.
It's amazing. You've been here 5 years, and we've connected numerous times in 5 years.
Well, that's because you volunteer a lot too.
Yeah, well, big time, big time, and that connection, it's so vital to the community. Um, we talked about your affiliates. That connection with them, I've got Achieva Credit Union that I volunteer on. I volunteered. They just kind of stopped it, but I was on their advisory panel. I think I have 7 or 8 years doing that. And I hate to see that go because I love the connection to Achieva and the just the experience overall. And that's kind of what you're doing with this connection is every time you come on and talk about it, every time you go out and you talk to your affiliates, you're drawing connection from youth and parents to the organizations. And that's a really vital piece that keeps our community thriving and growing. We're so young, and that you're 5 years old, 5-6 years old technically. You've been here that long working on youth connections, but the organization as a whole is young. And there's a lot of growth. So anybody that's interested, please contact them because they're not going to turn your help away. They want to go next level, and the more help they can get to do that. Hope I'm not speaking for you.
Keep going.
Yeah.
You're doing just fine.
Yeah, because it's important that music thrives, music lives on. We're here in sunny Florida. We've got Twisted Fork. It's got one of the best venues. We've got a high school that has a great facility for theater and musical theater and just events. And it's important to connect all that together with the young population and get them, get them to the next level too.
It is. And a lot of people are not aware of how much there is here. And we're still working at getting the word out. And I do appreciate you helping with that one, John. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, and I encourage everybody, stop by the Chamber of Commerce, pick up information. The Chamber does a really good job of promoting everything in this town. Realtors, if you're listening, it's a great place to take your buyers and let them get a temperature. I like to take them to every chamber I can. I don't have to do any of the talking; they do, and they kind of help people decide what neighborhood they want to live in, because that's important. And what city, once you get that information, that education on a city from a third party, realtors don't have to worry about the language when it's coming from the Chamber of Commerce. And I think it opens up dialogue really quick on different communities. You guys have an experience with the Chamber. Can you talk about your relationship there?
The Chamber did a ribbon cutting for us about 1.5 years ago.
Fantastic.
And that was a good thing. We have participated in some Chamber activities, not quite as many as we would like yet, but everybody at the Chamber has been incredibly supportive. When I went to a function on Monday and chatted with Emily Shaw, who is she's membership director there, and she's just absolutely delightful.
She is.
I gave her some auction flyers. So there are these sitting at the Chamber, which have a little QR code. I suppose if I bring it up this close
to
the camera, you can see that there's a QR code on and
so
people use their phone and register it. What?
I said hit stop on the video and scan it. We're live streaming now, but people are going to watch this later on tonight, and they could actually stop the video and scan that QR code and sign up.
That they could, because there are those people who would rather do the phone than the computer.
Sure enough.
But Emily was kind enough to say, sure, we can go ahead and put those out because they are definitely a supporter of all of their members. And Bill Gunnan, who's the executive director, he's referred to it as the chamber family. And that's really how they make you feel. They really do.
Fantastic.
We like being members of the chamber.
Well, we're throwing a lot of kudos out today. And one of the things I'll say is that every time I've ever talked with you guys, whatever you're attached to, you have very good spirit, very positive insights, and really that connection to the youth in our community. Can you talk about that and what that's meant to you?
I guess part of it starts with the fact that I have an education background. My degree in education, what I most enjoyed was substitute teaching, if you can believe that. Most people think that's a horror story, but that was a lot of fun. But I have worked with children a lot. And when you don't have children at home and you want to see some of the children, it's just a lot of fun because sometimes they're so serious and they really know everything. And other times they're just little kids and they want help. And so it helps keep you young, I think. I think that's really what it does most for me, is it keeps me feeling young when you work with kids.
It does. I know my mom, she just retired from Columbus Public Schools, and I'm not gonna say anything about age, but I think it kept her going. You get tired.
I don't know if you can hear me, John, but I have lost hearing you.
Oh, nope. I must have had an outage because it kicked me out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm back on. And I'll get that screen back up, but whatever happened quick. It just popped.
Right.
And so we're good though. We're back on, and you didn't obviously lose, you lost me, but you didn't lose connection. So
No, I didn't.
Fantastic. Let me pull this screen back up and we'll share it and keep going. That's how you can find them. Northport Youth Music, and that'll get right to it. And you can see you got your Facebook page and everything's first. So it's an easy type in, Northport Youth Music, and that kind of describes you anyway, right?
I think so, because that's exactly what we're looking to do.
Yeah,
is help the youth with music.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna slide over to share another one. You can tell that little bump got me. I was so organized and ready to go.
It happens to the best of us.
It does. It's kind of scary though.
It does.
It just happened real quick. So we'll end here in a couple minutes, but highlight this again, give your contact information, and really promote it out.
Okay. The online auction for the Northport Youth Musical Arts Academy of Northport, that's to raise money for a summer band camp. We have about 50 items in there right now. Some of them are gift cards, which you can go ahead and get those gift cards and use them just like money. So it's not that you're bidding on a specific item at the particular store. For instance, MRT Lawn and Garden Center, Ace
Okay.
Hardware. That's
Yep.
$100 gift certificate. So if you win that, that's money that you use to go spend there. And one thing I would like to encourage people is this is a fundraiser. And if you wanted to spend, say, $110 for a $100 gift certificate, that 110 is all coming to us. So that's donation that you are making. So keep that one in mind. And it's all to benefit the kids.
So I have a question. Since
Sure.
they're buying something, it's really not buying, it's a donation. Is this a write-off because it's a 501c3?
That is something that we do not offer an opinion on. We were advised by an accountant quite some time ago that you don't give tax opinions on anything because it's always going to get you into trouble.
Right.
So that's the sort of thing you ask your own accountant.
Pat told me so.
No, she didn't.
Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to ask, because I'm sure that there are people out there, and we've got Rich Suggs was accountant here and in town. He's out traveling the world now, but connected to the station back in the day. And I'm sure if Rich watches, he'll give his comment. But if there's a tax advisor out there that wants to participate and throw a comment in there, give an answer, that'd be a good thing. But I appreciate you coming on and being part of the live stream and allowing me to help spread the word.
Well, I really appreciate it too. The auction is starting Thanksgiving morning.
Yep.
You can take a look at it ahead of time and see if there's something you want. I mean, if that very first, stop right there.
Whoop.
Stop. Item number 2 that has that palm tree, that is a week-long vacation in Mexico at a place where you can have 4 adults or parents with some children. And it's worth $3,500. The bidding only starts at $875. And that is a fantastic vacation if you wanted to bid on that. So that's one of the more expensive, actually it's the most expensive item. And then there are ones that are a whole lot less. So there's a price range for everybody too, and a lot of different types of things.
You got the Metro Diner, so you can eat dinner. You got the ride with the police officer, of course. The big barn and e-bikes.
Big Bam. Not
Big Bam. I'm sorry about that. I'm squinting at the multi-layered computers here. But the e-bikes, that's an interesting thing.
Well, it is. And it's not just once, but there are 2 different certificates. So 2 different people could win them, or one person could get both certificates, and they could do 4 people out on e-bikes. And Big Bam is located right by the Legacy Trail near the train depot in Venice. Yep. So it's really handy to get on the trail right there, and you can just go up and down that trail, which is my preference to road riding. I don't want to ride on the road if I can help it. Right. It seems like a bad idea.
Well, and we've got such a beautiful trail, and wait until they get it finished. They're truly working on getting people on the bike paths out of the bike paths on the streets and giving them a lengthy ride. I'm surprised that there isn't more bike riders getting off the road and going to the trail. We've got an entry spot now in Northport, which is awesome. I know a lot of riders that go out there and jump on the entry point. You
can go all the way up to Sarasota on that, for crying out loud.
You can. It's amazing. And it's been supported across the board. And that connection to Northport, I think that was in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes, it is. It's pretty new.
Yeah, it is. So check that out. Again, go to the chamber, find that out. There's a lot of things you can find out through the chamber. There's a lot of things that you can find out by getting involved with the youth music organization. You guys are doing a fabulous job trying to get this thing started, and it's really hard to do grassroots effort. But music has a way of leading the notes all the way to the top. How about that?
Thank you. Very well said.
Well, I appreciate your time, and everybody out there who watches and listens, whether you're doing it now or you're doing it this afternoon, please share and like the page. Get it out there to the community, especially to the younger population. If you know somebody that's into music and they want to volunteer, shoot it over to them. Pat's willing and eager to talk to everybody about any way that you all can get connected to music. So
absolutely.
Thanks, Pat. I appreciate you.
John, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. This is John Rawlings with Real Talk, giving you a different look today. It's always fun to do something different than just the normal politics or the same shows. It's nice to have some really good energy and positive light on what music can do to changing spirits. So get involved and support them, and let's make it a huge auction opportunity for them. Thanks, and have a blessed day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.